Okay, guys, this is video number 2 of chatting straight in. Y'all, please excuse my little acne. Valentine's Day just passed, and I had me a few chocolates. I just allowed myself to indulge. So anyway, just pay that no mind. But as y'all can see, hair is getting straightened and everything. So we're gonna get this side straightened more because that look kind of crazy. This side look better. And then I'm gonna get the rest of this hair straightened, and I'm gonna get finished telling my story about my boyfriend, Mr. P, and I. So the part that I stopped at where I was running out of time for my full video is when I was telling you guys about how I had ran into somebody that I knew through social media and just seen a couple of times in real life, you know. So, that person had given me a drink. I had told my boyfriend after he gave me the drink that he gave me a drink, and my boyfriend didn't act like he had a problem with it, didn't say nothing negative or anything. He was like, "Oh, okay." So later on, I'm still, having fun, having a good time, dancing a little bit, just walking around, having a little drink and everything. And I know I was walking, and somebody stopped me from walking, like put their arm out. And when I looked at the person that put their arm out, it was somebody that I didn't know, but he was sitting right next to the guy that I knew. So I said, "Hey, what's up?" And he says to me, "Hi, aren't you the girl that my homie bought the drink for and you didn't even say thank you?" And I said, "Sweet, huh?" I did say thank you. I turned right over to his friend. I was standing in between them. And I tapped his friend on the shoulder and he said, "Yeah." I said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "Your friend right here said that I didn't tell you thank you for that drink that you just bought me. Didn't I tell you thank you?" He was like, "Yes, ma'am, you did." And then I looked at his friend. I was like, "See?" And his friend was about to say something else. No, 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 no. Actually, when I was turning back around to his friend to say "see," I didn't know what happened at the time. But come to find out later, my boyfriend had basically just tossed me across the floor. But what happened at the time was I just felt myself just lift up off the ground and get tossed across the floor. And I was just confused as fuck because I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, literally, that's what I said. And I realized that my boyfriend had the nerve to get upset that I was talking to these two guys and decided that he was going to put his hands on me and swing me across the floor away from them. And that pissed me off extremely. And so one of the ladies that he and I both was talking to about my business, she came over to me and she was like asking me, was I okay? I was like, "Yes, I'm fine." And she was like, "Oh no." She was like, "Who is he? Do you know him?" I said, "Yes, I do know him." And she was like, "Well, if you know him, you got to get him up out of here because we don't play that men putting their hands on females. We beat niggas up that do shit like that." Excuse my mouth, y'all. But she was like, we don't play that here." And I was like, "I understand." I was like, "We about to leave now anyway." So we left. Unfortunately, that wasn't the end part of the day. The end part was him sitting there trying to force me to be cold as crap because he's sitting there and driving the car, right? And having the windows down. It's freezing outside. Y'all, I think it was like in the single digits, to be honest. It might not have been in the single digits, but it sure as hell felt like it. It was freezing outside, y'all. And this guy decides that he wanted to ride around with the windows down because I would not sit next to him in the passenger seat because he decided to put his hands on me for the second time in a violent manner, which he promised to never do in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like extremely livid with his behind at this point. And I was like, "Sir, I'm not sitting next to you." Like, no. So he tried to forcibly make me move, and I had to bite him. And so after that, I ended up having to call the cops on him. because he kept sitting there, stopping the car, keeping the windows down, and would not keep the windows up so that I could stay warm in the car. And he knows how I hate the cold. So that abuse I was going through after the physical abuse of being tossed across the floor, just because I was talking to a couple of guys and I wasn't being intimate with them. I wasn't kissing on them. I wasn't rubbing on them or nothing. But the way this nigga acted, you would think I was. So, um, in a nutshell, because of all of this and because of this being the second time now that this man had put his hands on me in a violent manner, and not only had he put his hands on me this time, but he did it in front of people right after he was advertising my business for me. So, like, you now done put my name out there in a bad manner because I'm associated with you. I leave with you, and this is the drama that you bring into me. But anyway, so because of all of that and the foolishness that it caused, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna leave. I'm leaving. Like, I already was about to leave him, but I had put gets the gasoline behind me leaving, because I said, you know, I'm sick and tired of you thinking that I'm playing every time I say I'm leaving, and then you turn around and you do something else stupid, and you think I'm not going nowhere. Like, no, I'm out of here. So I got even more serious again about leaving. And a lot of the same people that I called the first time, and even more people I called this time, nobody responded in the manner where I was wanting them to, where they could help me to get a place. I let people know, like, listen, I ain't got no problem with, you know, having the money. I got the money together already. All I need is a nice place. Only one person got back to me, a aunt of mine. Now, to protect her privacy, even though she does not even deserve for her privacy to be protected because of what she actually orchestrated to be done to me, which was not cool. But in the meantime, because I'm going to keep my good name, I'm not going to put out hers or anybody else's. So I'm going to call her Aunt Q. So Aunt Q is the only person that got back in contact with me and actually gave me a reasonable response that made me excited and made me feel hopeful that I can finally leave this toxic relationship without feeling like I took a loss. So I thought. Alright, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Because it was family, like I said, it was my aunt that I originally talked to and made plans with, that I was going to be moving. Now, what the agreement was that my cousin, who is going to remain nameless, agreed with my aunt to allow me to stay in a 2-bedroom and 1-bathroom setup, where I shared the kitchen and I shared the common areas like living room and stuff like that. So initially, my Aunt Q told me it was going to originally be $800 a month. But I told her I cannot afford that. That's too much money for me. I said I can only afford between 5 and 6 or less. And she said, okay, I'm going to talk to your cousin about taking it down to 6. So she said she talked to him and he agreed to take it down to 6. So they said that all I would need to do is make an agreement with them to pay $2,500, and after I pay the $2,500, pay $600 every month after that. So I was like, that's not bad. Okay, fine, good. That's a great deal for me. Like, awesome deal. I love it. So I hadn't even seen the place yet, But like I said, I was so desperate to find something that I was like, I'm going to move there regardless, even though I haven't seen it. Because that was like, I made the decision, I'm leaving. Like, I'm not allowing nothing to keep me here. Like, I'm out of here. So, because of that, um, I didn't even make myself like go to see the place in person like I usually do. Because I'm like, this is supposed to be family, and I don't feel like I had to do all that extra stuff. So I had them show me the place over the phone to let me see what I was working with, because I had talked, actually before I even had her show it to me, I had talked to my Aunt Q again, and I asked her clearly, is the place more than just one bedroom? I said, because if it's just one bedroom, it's not going to work out for me, because I have a lot of stuff and I need to be able to comfortably fit without feeling like I'm stuck in a closet somewhere and I got a bunch of stuff and it's just me stuck up in here with my stuff and I don't really have no room to move around or live. So I was like, because of that, I had asked her specifically, you know, how big is the place? Because, I mean, I wasn't caring about coming to see it because I know I want to move there anyway. But if it's not big enough, then I'm not going to be able to move there anyway because I'm not going to be able to fit all my stuff there. And when I clarified that for her, she clarified for me that she went to go see the place. It was 2 rooms. And the rooms look like they should be feasible enough for me to be able to fit everything in there that I need except for the 2 couches. She said the 2 couches may not be able to fit because the hallways are very narrow and it is like very hard to get anything through the hallways. So anything that's like odd shaped like a couch might be slim to none you being able to fit it in there because of the narrowness of the hallway. So when she said that, I said, okay. And then she mentioned to me, she said, Johnny said that they said that the basement was clear and I could actually use the basement if I needed to put stuff down there if it happened to not be enough room in the 2 rooms that I already had up there. And so when she said that, I told my cousin that should remain nameless, okay. I told him through the phone, I said, show me through video, show me the place so that I could see if it's big enough and I could see if I can actually fit and live there comfortably without no issue. He showed me through the video. Everything looked great. He showed me both of the 2 rooms. He showed me the bathroom, and he also showed me the basement, and we discussed how, yeah, it did seem like I can't bring my couches because, yeah, the hallways are very narrow, and it's hard to bring anything in there. So I said, okay, fine. So I got that situated with them, and I decided to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and move in. Got the money together, and moved in the middle of the night because my cousin came and picked me up and he didn't even tell me he was on his way. He hit me up saying that he was outside and I was like, oh shoot, I didn't even know that you were on your way. And I literally had to get up from the middle of me doing what I was doing to get myself together to go ahead and move in the middle of the night without me even knowing that he was on his way at that time. So because I moved in the middle of the night like that, because of him, I was lenient on him when it came to the lease, the keys, and the receipt. Because I knew, well, it probably, if you don't already have it, which obviously he didn't, it probably would be impossible for you to be able to get any of that in the middle of the night, being as though that's when I moved. So that's why I gave him that leeway and that leisure and gave him the money even though I hadn't officially gotten the lease yet, the keys, or receipt for my actual payment. But I'm not thinking that this man is going to turn around and try to push me out of the place and take my money. But that's what ended up happening. So hear me out. In the first week of me being at this new location, my cousin that shall remain nameless knew that I had gotten majority of my stuff into place, and I was finally getting more comfortable. I had just gotten my bed frame delivered to the new place, and I had to wait for my boyfriend, Mr. P, to be available to help me put the bed frame together because I was having a hard time trying to do it by myself. So I had him help me. Now, he had to come in the middle of the night to help me because he's always working. So he had to come at a time, of course, and he wasn't working. So, make a long story short, one night I had my boyfriend over to help me to put my bed frame together so I could finally stop having to sleep on the air mattress that was on the floor. You know, my cousin that shall remain nameless was blowing my phone up that night, complaining that I was too loud. Whatever I'm doing, I'm too loud. That's what he kept saying. And I called them back. I said, listen, I'm trying to get my bed frame set up for me because I'm having a hard time trying to do it on my own. I finally got to get my boyfriend from work so he can help me, and so that's what we're doing. He did not want to try to have any kind of understanding of that. He just kept being disrespectful, talking about some, I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all it's gonna have to stop, and like really being demanding and really being like a jerk, honestly. So when I noticed that, and I also noticed that in the same time frame that he's sitting there complaining about noise that was not even that loud, honestly, you know, a train went by around the same time frame that his behind is sitting there complaining about us making noise. And I'm like, yo, that train is making more noise than we could ever make. You know, that man tried to lie and say that we was making more noise than the train, and I know that wasn't the truth. I know it wasn't the truth. Now, that was the first thing he put me through. Then after that, was chilling with his sister, one of my cousins, and she saw me and she was like, "Oh, you look just like your mom. You dress just like your mom." And that, and the third. And she's like, "I'm about to call your mom right now." I'm like, "No, please don't call my mom." And my whole twist of not calling my mom was because I know my mom is always, you know, speaking and talking about something that a lot of people can't change. Let me just say that. And I just did not feel like hearing it because I'm like, I got enough stress on my mind right now. But of course, my cousin didn't listen to me. She called my mom anyway. As a result of that phone call, my mom's fussing me out because she's telling me, why am I living there? Why would I go move there? That was a bad mistake on my end. I lost the money. They're never going to give me the money back. All this. Okay. So I'm like hurt at this point because I'm like, first of all, why wouldn't they give me my money back? And then second of all, you as my mom, why would you tell me to be okay with somebody just taking my money from me like that? And you know that that's wrong. Why would you expect me to be okay with that? But anyway, neither here nor there. So because of all of that, I'm like hurt at this point because I'm like, if this is really the case, like this is really corny that these people really took advantage because they knew that, yo, if y'all wasn't considered family, I would have never allowed y'all to get away with that. You know what I'm saying? I allowed y'all to get away with that because I'm the type of person that likes to show people that I believe in them. Why? Because I have not had many people show me that they believe in me, and I know what it feels like to not have it. So because I know what it feels like to not have that, that's why I try to make sure that I let people know, like, yo, I got your back. You got support in me. I'm not going to make it harder on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you a chance. But it's messed up that people take advantage when you do stuff like that a lot of time. But everybody don't. Everybody don't take advantage of that. But these people did. And they were supposed to be my family. And I said all that to say this. A lot of times, family could do you 10 times worse than anybody else. I never really trusted people very much to start with. But I gotta be honest, this experience that I had with my own so-called family member makes me even more not trust anyone. And now, even if it wouldn't cause me any hurt or harm like it has in the past, I would never allow this situation to occur again. I kind of wish it didn't occur in the first place, but unfortunately, you can't undo what's already been done. Only thing that you can do is do better next time. And so that's what I plan on doing. I plan on making sure that I just do better next time, because I know those people, if they weren't considered my family, they would have never gotten the money in the first place to ever take from me like that. They ain't going sure wouldn't have never got that much from me. And the only reason why I had given them that much is because I had already pre-planned to pay months ahead for my rent. Because I'm like, how I like to live as much as I can stress-free. So therefore, I'm not sitting here constantly worrying every weekend or every other weekend or every month about paying rent. So I don't have to keep doing that every so often, or more often than not. That's why I be trying to make sure, like, all right, let me pay months ahead. That way I don't have to worry so often or so much about paying the bills, because I'm paying ahead. So it's a nice big gap between how long I'm going to have before I have to pay again. So I initially decided to do that even before I even decided to rent with them. And that's one of the major reasons why it upset me so much that they did that to me. Because it's like, yo, y'all real corny. But at the end of the day, you go through what you go through. You look at it as a learning experience. And you learn from it. And you move on. Basically, what I learned from that experience is that I wasn't wrong for giving them an opportunity to disappoint me. Only thing I was wrong at was, once I seen something that seemed like a little off and weird, I didn't just completely say never mind. And one of the major reasons I know why I didn't do that is because I had, made the decision officially that I was going to leave. And when I make a decision officially that I'm going to leave, I'm not allowing anything else to keep me from leaving. Especially when I know that I already gave you another chance. And that's what the situation was with my boyfriend. Like, I was like, dude, I already done gave you another chance, because you put your hands on me for the first time in July. I could have been going. But because I was having so many issues and problems with trying to find a nice spot, and I really wanted something really nice and really popping, that's the only reason why I was like, all right, now I'm going to go ahead and wait, and I'm going to try to be patient. And look what you tried to do with my patience. Only, 8 months later, you put your hands on me again. So I don't regret leaving him. And I told him that. I said, I can't regret leaving you. The reason why I can't regret leaving you is because I know I left you for a reason, and I know that I should have left earlier. Only reason why I didn't leave earlier was because I was really, you know, having so many issues with trying to find a new place to move to, that I was just like trying to give myself time and trying to be patient with myself more so than anything. And that's why I was even more upset, because it's like, you are already here on borrowed time and you're not even appreciating that. But I say all that to say this. I've been stressing. I've been like going through a lot for the past few weeks. And regardless of that, I've been advertising my businesses. I've been making sure that I let people know about my YouTube channel, advertising that, making sure people know about that. Like, I've been doing the daggone thing to let people know that, yo, my value goes way further than skin deep. I mean, you know, my value goes way further than how well I can shake my behind, even though I can shake my behind pretty good too. My value goes way far beyond how pretty I am, even though I am beautiful, and thank you, God, for making me a beautiful person from the inside out. But my value goes way beyond all of that. And I'm tired of people trying to make me feel like my value doesn't go way beyond that. And if my value does go way beyond that, then I need to cut them a check. What do I need to cut you a check for? Like, these people who so-called supposed to be my family really kept sitting there trying to tell me, kept trying to take the price up. You know, my aunt, my aunt P kept sitting there trying to take the price up, talking about some, well, can you just pay